And now it's time for our guest speaker for this month. Our speaker today has over 30 years of experience in helping businesses tell their story. Hank Yuloff is the owner of Promotionally Minded Marketing and is the author of 2 marketing books, the latest being The Marketing Checklist, 80 Simple Ways to Master Your Marketing, 80, which is the basis for his weekly radio show. He offers tons of marketing advice on his Our Marketing Guy blog. He also runs 2 marketing boot camps a year in our monthly marketing mornings. Who's been to our monthly marketing mornings? So you guys know it's really good. Here is Hank Yuloff.
Good morning. Good afternoon. How's everybody today?
Right.
Cool. So today, what I'm going to talk about was based on a conversation that Carrie and I had a few months ago. We had just finished a monthly marketing morning for the chamber, and we were sitting down and talking. She said, how do you market yourself? You know, what are all the things you do? And I said, well, jokingly, do you have 30 minutes or so? And about 30 minutes later, when I finished going through everything, she said, I really think you should share that with the chamber, because you do an awful lot. So for the next 3 hours, actually this is only going to be 20 minutes because I did narrow it down. I'm going to go through some of the things that I do to market my business that if you sort of rip off and duplicate what I do, you can market yourself better. You all have a worksheet, and if you pull that out, most of this is something that you're going to be filling out either here or back in your office, because if you do fill it out, you get something special. I'm listening for the rustling of paper. When you're marketing your company, everything that you do, it's a tactic. All of the different stuff that you do. And to just blindly do something because you heard it was a good idea doesn't really help you. Unless you know who you are talking to, who is your target, who is that person that needs to get your message. So on the front of that, you need to know who your customers are. And you're going to have several different categories of clients. They're not all the same, they don't all look the same, but you're going to start looking for those things that they do have in common. Who are they? What do they want from you? And a bunch of questions that are there, but more importantly, why you, and why use you instead of not doing anything at all? Someone, and I'm looking at Jamshid for the second, somebody may decide, do I really need that new computer system? Well, yes, you do, because Jamshid builds great ones. Is the house really that cold? Do I really need those new windows? Well, yeah, when Larry Cohen shows you, absolutely. But your job is to know who those clients are so that you can create your message. And the message isn't, we give great service and have great prices. This is the only time I will ask you a show of hands. By show of hands, how many people in this room give great service? You kind of laugh, because the other question is there anybody in the room by show of hands that doesn't and is willing to admit it? So your message isn't we give great service. Your message is going to be something else. It's going to be a lot more involved than that. And once you have your message, once you think you have your message written down, by being here today, you get to call me, and you get 20 minutes of time with me on the phone to go through your message. And we're going to help you target it a little. The next one down is the ways you're marketing your business now. You can start writing if you want. I want you to think of all of the different ways that you market your business. My theory is that marketing is everything you do when you're not doing what you do. When you are here, you are doing one thing, you're at a networking group, but you're not doing what you do, you're out there hustling business. And in fact, everybody in this room is here to sell something, and that's kind of cool. So in fact, if you go into a room like this and you decide you're the one that's going to be buying, and you just tell people that you are looking for vendors, you become far more popular. That's one of the cool things. Now, in order to distribute your message, you have to do something first. You have to figure out what your budget is. Because unless you figure out what your budget is, you're not going to want to do anything to market your business more than anything, your normal stuff. I go to networking meetings. And I keep mentioning networking meetings because that's number one on my list that I'm going to go through. But you have to figure out what your budget is. If you want a rule of thumb, 10% of sales. If you have a new product or service, for example, I've owned a promotional product company for years. But a few years ago, I opened our marketing guy wing of my company, and it had its own budget to promote. And that budget was a lot higher than the normal budget to promote our promotional products company. Because to introduce a new name and to introduce a new service takes a while for people to get used to it. How many know that I do a radio show? Really? Wow, those numbers are a lot higher than I thought. That just started in December, and I'm feeling the need to talk about it a whole lot more with clients because not that many people seem to know that we started. And to build listenership there is going to take a while. So I want to go through what I do, and if you think any of the things that I do are kind of cool or fun or you want more information, on the back side of that sheet that I gave you, number 4 is other ways to share our message. And when I talk to you on the phone, when you get your free 20 minutes, and if you want information or you want to think, hey, is this a good idea for me, that's when we can chat about it. So, I do a lot of things to market my company, a tremendous amount of them. I have done things to market my company that have failed. Boy, I have taken shots. I have learned a whole lot. I no longer advertise certain ways because it completely doesn't work. But there are some things I do to market my business that are effective here, and then will be effective here, and then a little bit down the line here, but not all the time. And the reason that we market in many different ways is because life is a passing parade. You're going to meet people that may need you now or not. They may need a sign now, Chris, but they don't always need a sign. Well, of course, they always need more signs, right? You have a baby to bring up and support. You always need new signs. But you need to keep your name in front of them. So, networking groups. I'm a member of several chambers. I like them a lot. But just know that if you're a member of a chamber and you don't show up, thanks for your donation. All a chamber does is create a place for you to show up. If you want to be in a networking situation where there isn't a competitor, there are tons of different hard networking groups. Latip, BNI, any others that want to shout one out, go right ahead. But those are cool because A, you see the same salespeople all the time. They become your sales force. B, they suck because you have to get up at 6 in the morning just to be there for every week, or 5 if you're in the one that I'm in. I also do email. How many people email to their clients? Think about it. Do you email? Did you know what has happened to email open rates in the last year or so? They've plummeted. They have dropped. Part of it is people just get sick of emails after a while. Anybody else get over 300 a day? Oh, God, every time I open the email. But Google's filters and all of the other filters have gotten stronger. So the fact that you may be mass emailing to your clients, you should know that those rates have dropped significantly. Most of them are not being opened. If you get an open rate of over 30%, pat yourself on the back, because most of them are under 20. And that has changed significantly in the last year or so. We chat with a lot of mass marketers that, those emails that you get, we'll call them funnels. Let's say you see ads on the side of your Facebook page for this and that, and then you click on it and they're trying to get you into sales funnels. Awesome. The click-through rates and the open rates have dropped tremendously. So instead of just email, I suggest you start capturing more than email lists. I suggest you start capturing the actual addresses of your clients. Because direct mail isn't dead. In fact, the Postal Service really is not going to go anywhere. Politicians argue over it, but that's a political thing that has to do with unions. But the post office is in the Constitution. It's not going anywhere. Direct mail is going to work. Now, direct mail done properly, Jack, you guys do a really nice job, is much harder, but you should be capturing those addresses. In fact, if you want to hear about direct mail tonight on the radio show, I have an expert coming on. His name's Craig Valine, and we're going to be talking about direct mail, which leads me to radio shows. How many other people? Anyone else have a radio show? Cool. Well, you laugh. How many people has anyone done podcasts? See, a few more hands. How many people have interviewed somebody on a Google Hangout? How many have been interviewed on a Google Hangout? More hands. How many people have no idea what I'm talking about when I say Google Hangouts? Okay. How many people know what Skype is? Hands? Awesome. Google Hangouts are the Google version of Skype, except you can record them, and once you record them, they get uploaded to your YouTube channel. Why is that cool? People normally when they look for you, they're going to Google. Guess who owns YouTube? Say it loudly, Google. So, the more video that you have on your YouTube channel, the better it is for people to find you. So, Google Hangouts, or a radio show, or a podcast, when you are interviewing someone, allows you to put yourself onto the internet far more. And when people search, who wants me to mention their name from up here? Okay, when somebody is searching Carrie Purcell, KSA Management, if she has been interviewed on a lot of places, if she's interviewing people, her name will pop up more. Because when people say, oh, you really should talk to Carrie, you really should work with Carrie, the first thing they're going to do is go to Google and check her out. If you go to Google and check me out, you're going to see dozens and dozens of pages of me doing things. Just don't go to page 7 or past, because then you start getting into my movie reviews, and that is I use some words. You know, the internet's permanent. And if you ever did movie reviews and you used flowery language, it sticks around. So don't go past page 7 for me. But interviewing people is a wonderful way of promoting your clients. And Jack, can I talk about you for a sec? Cool. I interviewed Jack. Talking about Jack. How awesome Jack's service is. What Jack can do when people want to know about Jack is say, hey, check out this video, I was interviewed. Who else do they see? Me. We then become marketers for each other. I have people that come on my radio show. We tag it, and when they promote that they're going to be on that show, their clients, my clients, both see both of us. It's a way that you can advertise and market each other. Same thing, if you have a podcast, have guests. That way you can promote to both audiences. Marketing is much more than just hammering somebody over the head with an ad, although the ads on my radio show are kind of cool and you should listen. We're trying to get sued. We're trying to get one of our clients sued. So if you listen to my radio show, you'll see what we're trying to do. In fact, if anyone knows Dick Wolf Productions, feel free to let them know that they should listen to the radio show, because we are infringing on one of their copyrights. Anyone curious about that?
Yes.
Cool. Listen, and you'll find out. It's really fun. I'll tell you later if you ask me. Okay, along with direct mail, I use a service called Send Out Cards, which is a greeting card company. You can do what I'm going to do without send out cards, but I suggest it strongly that you become a fan of Hallmark or some greeting card company. Because automated marketing is great, but you need to stay in touch with people. So, birthday thank you and holiday cards to your clients, they get opened. If you're doing email versions, they don't. Have a book. I have now written my second book. Anyone writing a book? Cool. What's your book called?
Presenting You.
Awesome name. What's it about?
Is what you're doing.
Excellent. How am I doing?
Good.
Yeah, okay. Wow. The first 6 letters in the word authority? Author. If you want to be seen as an authority in what you do, start writing your book. If you want help with that, I have people I can put you in touch with. Blogging. Are you blogging? Who was honest and said no? Aw, thank you. I'm only going to ask for once a week, but if your website is being updated all the time, that helps. The last one that I'm going to mention is promotional products, just because, you know, I sell them. So awfully cool. It's a way of capturing desk space. So those are some of the ways. I looked at the list of the things that I do to market my business, and it's about 35. Which was one of the reasons that I started putting the book, The Marketing Checklist, together. If you want a free copy of that book, you can do that very easily. All you have to do is pull out this form that you have here. The other page promotes the Promotionally Minded Marketing Day, which is coming up March 20 and 21. If you can imagine 2 full days of me and a couple of other people standing in front of you teaching you how to market your business, awesome, fill that out. If you fill it out today, you get a copy of the book. It'll be emailed to you. And that's going to be a fun couple of days. We're not doing it here. We are doing it at the Winnetka Convention Center, the newly remodeled. If you haven't been to the Winnetka Convention Center, you should go and to some event while you're bowling. It's right between the Great Western, no, not the Great Western, Best Western and the Canoga Bowl. There's a large meeting room that is now called the Winnetka Convention Center. It's available for rental inexpensively. There's free parking, and it's awesome. So, I have 2 minutes, and I can answer whichever question is burning itself through your inner soul, Don Donner. What is it?
Well, you mentioned handout cards. Is it
Send out cards, or cardsbyhank.com.
personalized?
Yeah, they're all personalized. But the thing is, you don't have to use the service. I do, I love it. But if you're a card person, people love getting cards. The things that get opened in the mail the most, checks and greeting cards. That's before bills, that's before direct mail. So the more you're in contact with your clients, the better it is. You can send them, an email link to a birthday card for their birthday, but most people now are savvy to the fact that most viruses are coming in that way, so they're not opening them. The rates for those greeting cards is under 10%. Any other awesome questions? Any questions you don't want to ask? Does anyone want to be on my radio show?
Sure.
Cool, talk to me later. With that, I want to thank you for your time. This is kind of my home chamber. I've been here an awful long time, and if I stopped every bit of networking that I did in forest groups, I would stick with this one, because when you get involved here, it's really awesome. And with that, I'm going to give it back to Vahid.